What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Bit of Footy YouTube channel. Now, excuse the voice for some parts of this video. I do have a bit of a stuffy nose, but that's pretty much it. But yeah, besides that, welcome back to another video. This is the round 11 tips video. It's still Indigenous round. Sir Doug Nicholls Indigenous round, if you didn't know, runs from round 10 to round 11. So yeah, we're going to be going through my tips for this round. Having a look at the leaderboard, Geordie Pluto was actually taking the first spot on the leaderboard. He got 7 out of 9 last weekend and has got 64 points in total. Caterlany 12 dropped the ball a bit last weekend, only got the 5 out of 9 and dropped to 63 points. So it is still very tight at the top. A D-back attack, he's only one off the leader as well. So there's a few 1 points and 2 points and 3 points who are off the leader, Geordie Pluto. But yeah, so it's very tight at the top. I got 7 out of 9 myself last weekend, and I'm on 57 points in total. So I'm still basically, I'm 7 points behind the leader. You never know, the gap could close, I'm hoping, but at the moment, the top of the leaderboard doesn't seem to be changing too much, besides, who's already up there. But yeah, I'm working my way up. I'm working my way back in it. But yeah, without further ado, let's head into my round 11 tips. Alright, kicking off on Friday night, we have the Swans taking on the Tigers at the SCG. In my opinion, it's going to be a very tightly contested game. If Tom Lynch was playing, I think I would lean more towards Richmond. I really think I would. He's such a massive link in their chain, you would say. I'm not saying they can't win without him, but he's a massive link in their chain, in their forward line chain. Whereas the Swans, they've got, pretty much their forward line unlocked at the moment. They've got a really good forward line going. And I think, realistically, I feel like that's going to be the difference at the end of the night. I feel like the Swans forward line is going to be the difference at the end of the night in this game. So I have tipped the Swans at the SCG to get the job done by a margin of 9 points. So as you can see, I do think it's going to be tightly contested. On the Saturday Arvo, we kick off with the Lions taking on the Giants. Not much to say about this game. I think the Lions should get the job done. Disappointing result for them against the Hawks last weekend, but I think they're going to come out with a bit more, a bit more fire this weekend. They did come out, very well against the Hawks actually, but they managed to drop the ball in that one. But I don't think it's going to happen in this game. I think they're going to start very well, and the Giants won't be able to overcome it like the Hawks did last weekend. Giants have picked up a good win against the Eagles, but it was against the Eagles, and we know that the Eagles aren't playing their best footy at the moment. But yeah, I think the Lions will be too good at home for the Giants. Then we move over to GMHBA Stadium, where the Cats are taking on the Crows, and at the moment it looks like I'll be streaming this game on the weekend, so just make sure to keep an eye out for that one. I'm going to be tipping the Cats in this game to get the win. They just played GMHBA very good. Even though they did lose to the Dockers, it was only by a 3-point margin, so they were still well and truly in that game. But yeah, they're playing the Crows. The Crows, they looked a little depleted at the end of the Saints game. They just got overrun a little bit at their home ground, which was kind of disappointing because they were very competitive in that game to the point where they could have won. But yeah, they got overrun in the end. And Geelong, they're just playing some very good footy. It's at home, so I think the Cats will win that game. The 4:35 at the MCG is the D's taking on the Dockers. I'm going to be backing the D's to get the job done in this one, to go 11-0. The D's have just been playing some terrific footy, and yeah, I feel like they're just going to continue their winning streak. The Dockers, they've sort of dropped the ball. They've lost twice in a row. Both times, they played in some wet weather conditions, and I feel like their game style doesn't really, consist of the weather being bad. So hopefully the weather is sort of good for them this weekend, so they can, really contest this game and really go deep into this game. But from what I've been hearing, the weather's not going to be too well, but you never know. They could show up for this one. Hopefully they can learn from their mistakes in the last 2 weeks and really get up and about. But I still feel like the D's, the way that they're going, should get the job done. Then we move over to Perth for the 7:25 Optus Stadium game between the Eagles and the Dogs. Not much to say about this game. The Dogs should get the job done. Eagles, they're playing, very average footy at the moment, as we all know. The Dogs, they're getting up and about. They're getting back to some of their best footy. Well, not their best footy, but they're playing some decent footy at the moment. They were able to beat the Suns last weekend at Mars Stadium in a very competitive game. And yeah, the Bond, how good was he? Kicking 3 goals. Norden was looking good as well. But yeah, I think the Dogs should get the job done in that one. Then we move over to the Northern Territory for a game between the Suns and the Hawks. Should be a good contest, actually, this one. It's a very hard one to tip, but I'm going to back the Hawks in this one. I'm going to back the young Hawks for another surprise up at the Northern Territory. I think the Hawks have been playing some very, very good competitive footy. No doubt the Suns have been playing very competitive as well, but I think the Hawks, the way that they're going, the way that they're getting results, I think I'm going to back them in to win that game. The Sunday games kick off with the Saints taking on North Melbourne. Going to tip the Saints in this one. Obviously, North Melbourne, as competitive as they were against the D's, they still got blown out of the water in the end. Whereas the Saints, they looked very, very well composed. Well, not composed, but they looked good in the end. At the Adelaide Oval against Adelaide. It was a very tight game, that one, but yeah, the Saints just showed their maturity in the end and were able to get the job done. I don't think they're going to have too much of a tight contest in this one against North Melbourne. You never know. But yeah, I think the Saints will get the win over the Roos in this one. 3:20 p.m. on a Sunday, we have the Pies taking on the Blues. Yes, I will be there doing a match day vlog of it. Unfortunately though, I do think the Blues are going to win. I think the Blues on paper do have the better team than we do. And yeah, they've just been playing some very, very good footy at the moment. And if the Blues, if they get up and about in the first quarter, I think it'll be over for us. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a great game from the outset, I reckon. But I think the Blues, the way that they're going, the way that they're just finding ways to get the job done, they're just a completely different side from what they used to be, and I think they'll be able to get the job done in this one. And then the last game of the weekend, we have Port Adelaide taking on the Bombers at the Adelaide Oval. Bit of a dead rubber to finish the weekend off, which is, kind of disappointing because you want, at least a good game to finish the weekend off, but you never know, this could turn out to be a decent one. But Port Adelaide realistically should get the win in this one. They've been playing some decent footy as of late. I thought they were competitive against the Cats in sort of the first and second quarter. They got blown out of the water in the end, but they were still very competitive in that game. The Bombers, they were sort of competitive against the Tigers. Same sort of thing happened to them. They got blown out of the water in that game in the end as well, where they were close to winning. But yeah, it's at the Adelaide Oval. Port Adelaide, they've sort of started playing good a little bit at the Adelaide Oval, and I think they should get the job done in this one. And those are my tips done and dusted for this weekend. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in, stream this weekend. So yeah, see you there.